Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. It's been a crazy day of volatility, and at some point in the morning people were again claiming that we are breaking down to the downside, that the breakout is done. That happened precisely when we were hitting 89.4k, and I want to talk about this green candle in here, the potential for still breaking above the resistance. I'm gonna update you on the levels that have changed and do another round, but this time with new data of where could we be heading. If you haven't watched the video in the morning, I recommend that you have a look. The title was very controversial. Indeed, it was called Breakout Finally, and as soon as the video went out, we hit 92.3 and we started coming back below it, making it look like the most silly video that I have ever published. But hey, we're gonna look into that support that we held, and we're gonna see if I have to delete the video or change the title to make it look slightly better. No, I don't do those things. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I put out one of these videos. Thank you so much twice today. Number one, because we made 355 likes in the video on Monday, and this weekend we broke above 36,000k subscribers in the channel. That is really phenomenal, guys. And as you can see on the tradingparrot.com, I'm trying to do my best to keep you up to date with these articles that I publish in the morning, sometimes after the video in the evening. That depends on the big boss, whether I need to do some important parenting tasks as well. But as you can see here, there is a summary of the video in the morning. If you like this format, so far what I'm doing is just pasting the link on the Telegram channel, sometimes on YouTube in a post. Make sure you don't miss it. If it shows that you guys really like it that much, I can continue doing it. It's a lot of effort on top of editing the video, so you probably don't want me to die working 24/7 while I'm still trying to form a team. This is just a one person doing everything, editing, links, absolutely everything. And I'm going to leave a link in the description on Telegram everywhere of the Trading Parrot Black Friday. I'm gonna add to this table all the things that are in Black Friday, starting with TradingView, that are probably going to do the same thing they did last year. So make sure you wait until the 24th of November to get 50% at the very least. They might even go for a 70%. So eyes open, I will let you know. Trading Different is also offering huge discounts once again for Black Friday. These are the amounts, and if you use the link that I left in here, you're going to get additional 15% on top of the already low prices they are offering. And finally, the Trading Parrot subscription to get access to all the indicators and automation tools that I use for my bots. The code is TTPBFFriday. You can also find it in this page. The link is in the description at the very top. And remember, we're going to start increasing this list. There will be offers for pretty much all the products I use. So if you are looking for anyone in particular, let me know in the comments and I will start adding it to this list for your shopping list of Black Friday. Don't forget, tomorrow we have the live stream in the afternoon with Annie from Trade, Travel and Chill. If you haven't watched her before, search immediately on YouTube Trade, Travel, Chill and watch a few videos. She's fantastic. Let's look at what's going on with the 4 hour. If you watch the videos on the weekend, you probably saw this line in this shape. At this point in here, we called for a breakout. Why? Because we had a green candle closing the 4 hour above the trend line. If you were one of those that enter in a long at candle close, that will have right just a 1.84%, which is pretty much nothing to the upside, and that is assuming that you took profits at the highest level that candle reached, which is almost impossible. So let's assume you close at candle close, you got just a 1%, which is not the full target of this breakout, because this breakout has a triangle in here form. It should have taken us at the very least to this yellow line that coincides with with the target we were getting from statistics, which is an RSI of 87. We already talked about that. Here's the 86, which I took note the day before based on the previous value. Now it's 87. So that is the full target of the breakout. But since we went back inside the previous range with the candle immediately after, we had to take the bullet. Potentially you ended up in a break even if you put the stop loss right here. If you didn't put a stop loss there and you took the conservative approach of putting stop loss at 88.5, you will have still be in profit right now. So tight stop loss will have left you losing a tiny bit. Conservative one, you are still with a smile because this continues still to move in this range. But unfortunately, this means that instead of being an asymmetrical triangle, now it's starting to look a lot more. We say this morning, before seeing these two candles, we say we need to put now this horizontally because we need to break above the order block in here. That is what gave us a rejection in the morning. We need to get above that, close above that. And we haven't done really bad so far because we bounce again on the support at 90K with a close above that. And we have a green engulfing candle hitting straight into the resistance. At the moment, the battle is ongoing. We are holding the support of 91.5K. That was resistance all the way in here. Hopefully it will stay there and close the 4 hour. In 2 more hours is closing above that. That will increase the chances that we can go for that liquidity that we were looking in the longer term in the swing chart. The liquidity on the scalping chart is already gone. You can see with the move of the morning, we took half of it. We went back to support and we took the rest of it. So the thesis of taking this liquidity first was correct. The ride to there was full of bumps, full of fears, full of people claiming that it was broken. That is what trading is all about. Welcome to just another day trading a range. We still have the liquidity at 85, and it seems that as of today, that is the fatter liquidity in red in the scalping chart, which means in the short term. In the longer term, if you focus on this area of the same triangle, but now we are in a 4-hour time frame, you can see that the immediate liquidity is still here. Multiple times now we have been talking about that liquidity and saying, this is the low-hanging fruit. We're going to get it right now. And we go back into support and we go back into support and we attempt it once again. Luckily for us, we are still here battling not just with this, but also with the CPR levels. This morning we were above it, we came back below it, now we are above it. It seems like a never-ending story of breaking above this resistance. And traders in this whole range are all over the place with no clear dominance, which is super annoying. Like you can see in here that there's huge amount of bidding. In here, there's a lot of ask liquidity, but now since the 16th of November, we have very humble bids and asks from each side, causing that this is just ranging. It needs to pick a side. It needs to break out. And by the way, I'm seeing the Black Friday sale with up to 70% on extensions and new subscriptions on High Block Capital. If I forget, remind me because I need to add the code to my list so you get the largest discount possible. And I know that many of you are keen to get access to this data. The links to this precise charts are all in the description, so once you get your account, you can access this data. The delta is back into the green. We were talking that entering into the red is offering some opportunities. We took out all the fair value gaps that we saw in the morning. We say that they were low-hanging fruits. They're gone. 91, 90, gone. Now, there is no fair value gaps above us. And to hit the first fair value gap, we need to move 6K down into 85K. That 85K, I almost feel like we just have to take it out as soon as possible. It's bothering me so much to see this liquidity right there in an ascending triangle. It almost feels like we are gonna stay in here until eventually we are gonna hit the 85 and from there we are gonna pump. That is a possible scenario. Feel free to quote me on that if it happens. Of course, we can start climbing in here and eventually breaking out above it as well. Many people are talking that we need to put a local top. November is the time to do that. and I completely agree with that narrative as well. In every single November at this time in the cycle, we have a big drawdown. 16-15% is absolutely doable. And if we did that, we take out the CME gap, which is killing two birds with a single shot. This pattern on Bitcoin tends to do some things that are very typical, and we need to be prepared for that. Of course, the pattern itself, in general, has a bullish and a bearish breakout. The bullish breakout, we are already knowing in here, it can take us to 96, 97K. And the bearish breakout should take us to the base of the triangle, which is somewhere in here, which is in line as well with the target of the bottom of the range of the RSI that we can see in here. So hitting that 36 there takes us into the red, hitting the top band based on statistics takes us to 86, 87. That's where we are getting this yellow and red line, and then we are getting the green, which is 87. Wait a second, there's something wrong in here. The 72. So these triangles in general, and when trading Bitcoin in particular, can have a bullish and a bearish breakout. The bullish obviously is the high of the triangle projected in here, which takes us to 96, 97K. The bearish one takes us to the bottom of the order block, which is in confluence with the red line. That red line is the RSI 36, which we are tracking for a long time in here. At the moment it's getting closer to 37, so that's gonna bring the confluence even closer now, right there on spot with the order block. So I would really like to take out that 85 out of the way to not bother us, because sometimes breakouts like this from this pattern can cause that you reach the goal and then you start a rally. And very common in Bitcoin, I've seen it so many times that is almost a joke, is to see that you put a breakout in here and then it's just a liquidity hunt and then still goes down. And that is my thinking why I would like to not have that 85K in there. That 85K is constantly calling attention for the whales to really take advantage of that. And it makes it a lot more difficult for the breakout to play out. It can still play out, but it increases the risk. How is this pattern going to be invalidated? Well, the bullish breakout obviously invalidates as soon as we close a 4-hour candle below the support, which so far we haven't done. So now that we don't have that much liquidity in the shorter term in the scalping chart right next to the limits, with just the exception of this yellow with a little bit of red there, and the 85, which is 6.5K away, I think it's pretty doable that we get into the 94.4 in here to take this liquidity. And I'm hoping that that is going to hold in here without re-entering into the structure, so that we can continue with what's left on the top, which you can see that is more than what we have in the base of this triangle. Even including a long trip down, the upside still sees more liquidity. Now the alternative is that market maker might be thinking that this is still not worth the move up yet, in which case they might stay still within the channel, sometimes making some appearances below support like we have already seen in here and in there, because that is direct incentive to trap more shorts on the upside, so that once you break out to the upside, the price is larger, the reward. And the delta has managed to come back above the support. That is very interesting. That is the opposite that we saw on the 1st of August. And it could, it could be calling for another comeback into this range, maybe a little bit more of play in here, and once again a push up in the green. So if this morning you were one of those degens that when I was saying there is still a chance that we can come back in here, and you took the risk, if this survives right here and it pushes back up, you're gonna be one of the very little ones that are taking the long from the most scary moment, but it could give a pretty good ride to the upside if it plays out. And I haven't intentionally updated the liquidity at the top to see how much we have consumed and how much is still there. Let's see now, with the price at 91, we can see that this is still there at 93, 92, and it hasn't moved. So there's still incentive from that side. All right, guys, I will continue to update you on Telegram, of course, as long as I'm awake. As you can see today, I kept you up to date with every bounce including this one that was looking pretty scary. Remember, we are trading the 4-hour, so when the price comes below this, we wait for confirmation. I know it's scary and I know it's pretty tempting to enter on a short there, but if you are also trading the 4-hour and you're entering intra-candle with those moves and then getting wrecked on the upside or on the downside, it doesn't matter, but you need to question if you're putting enough discipline when you're entering the trades as well. Guys, don't forget to have a look at the Black Friday deals. The link is going to be at the top of the description. I'm going to also put it in a pinned comment in YouTube, Telegram, everywhere. I need to remember to put the High Block Capital one. And remember that on Bluefin, we still have 6 days, actually 4 days left to claim these bonuses that become active as soon as you deposit, even a small amount. No need for KYC, no VPN, no bureaucracy of any way. So take advantage because it gives you access to trade with leverage anywhere in the world. Have a good one. Take care, guys. Bye bye.